Good morning, everybody. I'm Rick, and this is Two Brothers Outdoors. I don't know if you can hear that creek behind me, but I'm getting ready to go down and throw a dry fly in a couple of small pools down here in this creek and see if we can catch any fish. Tim and I stopped by here last night and took a look at it, and he goes, "Well, try it out in the morning. If it works good, maybe we'll go back that afternoon." All right, guys, so I'm dressed kind of light. I got a long sleeve shirt on, not because it's cold, but because the black flies are out. Black flies are a good thing because it means winter is finally over. All right, guys, so I'm going to be using the Aventik Riverbend rod today, 7 foot, 3 inches long, and 3 to 4 weight. So let's go down here and plop a dry fly on top of some of these pools and see what we have. I'm going to be switching you over to the hat cam. So you won't see my ugly mug, but you will see the action in front of me if we catch any fish. All right, guys, before we get started, I'd just like to give a shout out to Upstate New York Outdoorsman Expo on May 17th in Lyons, New York. There will be outdoor skill workshops, as in fly fishing and fire starting. This show is geared for hunters, fishermen, campers, or just if you love exploring the great outdoors. There will be interactive demonstrations on the latest gear, tips, and techniques for hunting, fishing, hiking, and survival, vendors and exhibits, and of course, giveaways and contests. Check out the link below in our description section and see what it's all about. All right, here's that other little pool I was talking about. And as you can see, like I said, there's a road right there. And people just dump shit in this pristine little creek like it's some kind of personal garbage dump. I don't understand people like that. I guess I never will. Alright. I think I got plenty of room to cast here. This is a nice little fly rod. Alright, so I mentioned I'm using the hat cam, and there's 3 things wrong with the hat cam. Number 1, you'll see the date up in the corner. I can't change that anymore. The hat cam is probably 10-15 years old. There also is a watermark on the right hand side. That's because this film's in MOV mode and I cannot change it without going through a program, which is Klein up there in the right hand corner. They put their watermark on it. And because the camera's on my hat, it causes a jerky motion when I'm looking back and forth trying to film. There's some pretty water right here. I'm surprised I haven't got at least one run at this fly. Right, I'm just going to make a couple more casts in this pool. If I don't get any response, I'm going to move down to the other pools down there and see what happens. This is really a nice pool. It surprises me there's nothing biting. This is a nice little fly rod made by Aventik. It's Riverbend. Has no problems casting 35-40 feet out there in tight quarters. I've yet to catch a fish on it. I'm kind of anxious to see how it reacts to a fish's bite. I got a water spider going after the fly, thinking he's either trying to eat it or breed it. I don't know which it is. Casting against the wind here. Still doing a good job. Man, this is some pretty water right here. Alright, here's the other pools right here. Oh, I tell you, now that's pretty accurate when I can put that fly right in that hole right there. That hole's 35-40 feet away. Beautiful. Let that fly sit right there for a minute. All right. Got a nice sandy pool right here behind this big rock. Try to put that fly right there. It's just sitting there in that eddy. You would think something would jump off from under that rock and just slam that fly. All right, guys. I got branches here, branches there. Beautiful pool right there. Let's see if I can toss that fly right in the middle of that pool and let it drift down. Look at that. Couldn't have asked for a better cast. That fly is just right down in the middle of that pool. Way down there. Nothing. I'll let it submerge. Fly's getting a little bit waterlogged. I tug it a little bit, it goes under the water. Maybe I'll let it drift underneath for a little bit, see if I get it. I'm casting that fly downstream a good 50 feet. Look at that. Unbelievable. I am so impressed at how this little fly rod performs. I just wish I could find out how it performs on a fish. Got a log right over here at the end of this pool. If I can get that fly down there. Okay, I'm going to pull you away from that little pool for just a minute. At 4:30, when Tim got home from work, I asked him if he wanted to go fishing real quick, fly fishing. And he's like, sure, why not? So at 4:30, we headed back over, same creek, different spot. And on Tim's very first cast with the fly rod, he caught a brookie right off the bat. First trout of the season for either one of us, and Tim's very first wild brookie. That fly is sitting down there right in front of that log. Water comes to almost a stop right there. I'll jiggle that fly a little bit, make some waves. Just doesn't seem to be doing any good. I'm going to go on the other side of that log right there where that calm water is, and I have to walk around this brush, see what happens over there. If we don't catch anything, we're going to call it quits. All right, I have to approach this pool right here from downstream. There's too much brush right there to get to it. The rocks are just a little bit slimy. Get a couple of dry rocks here to stand on. They seem to be embedded pretty good. There we go. That's a pretty deep pool. That looks like it might be 4 or 5 feet deep. Some brush underneath the water. Of course, that log right there. Let's try here. Oops, there we go. Look at that. Little rod putting her right where I want it. Fly is just sitting there in that calm water, not even moving. Just waiting for that silver flash to come flying up to it, and I don't see nothing happening. I mean, you couldn't ask for better casts. Casting on the other side of the log right now. That water's deep right there. I'm thinking I may finish crossing right here, go back to my rod holder there and grab a nymph and just try it. This water is way too pretty not to have a trout in it. I'm thinking they're not hitting top water right now. Alright guys, we are catching brookies in this little creek right here. I think so. I'll wind him in. There he is. Alright, I'm going to walk down here to the water. Look at that. Isn't that pretty?
What is it?
Native brookies. That's a pretty good sized fish too for a brookie. Well guys, I know I said I was going to quit. I just can't quit. This water looks too good. I switched over to a green nymph with a gold bead head. This is Cortland flies. Let's see what happens. We throw something that goes underwater. You hit some of these decent pools again. See what happens. Put that nymph in several attractive pools right here. And so far, the only thing I've caught is a stickfish. Oh yeah, he's a nice one.
Little Friday afternoon fly fishing.
Wild brookie. Okay, this is the last fish for that evening, and it was a nice 12-inch brookie. And we called it quits right after this. It was 6:30. We've been fishing for a little over an hour and a half. We caught 7 brookies altogether. It was quite the nice evening. We really enjoyed ourselves. We were using the Royal Wolf dry fly, and we'll have to come back and try this again in a few weeks and see what happens. All right, I'm going to cross again, get back over there to that deep pool that is very slow, hardly any moving water in it, and let this thing sink slowly to the bottom and see what happens. Now this water, when it was high, came through here, and we have a pool here that has no running water through it. I wonder if there's any fish trapped in there. If there is, if we could catch a fish right here, if it's a trout, we can move them back over to the fast water, let them go. Let's see what we got. All right, guys, look at this. In this little pond, a little pool. Don't know what it is yet. Doesn't look like a trout. Son of a gun, he's fighting. See if we can get him over here to some shallow water. I'll see if I can scoop him up. I don't have a net with me. Didn't expect to catch a fish this big. Looks like some kind of carp. It is a carp. Look at this. Look at the size of this thing. Holy cow. All right. Wish I'd brought a net with me. He's a pretty good sized fish. All right, let's see if I can. Look at that. Look at this, guys. In this little tiny pool right here. Well, he may not be happy about being caught, but he's going to get turned loose back in the fast water where he can survive. Look at the size of that, boys. All right, here you go, buddy. He's liking that a whole lot better than that little pool. Well, I wasn't after a carp, but made it exciting anyway, right? All right, let's untangle the rod here and go back over here to this pool and see what we can catch. All right, I'm going to attempt to get to this pool over here. Walking in the water again. Well, the rod held up pretty good on that fish, and that was in tight quarters. Didn't have much room to play him out, and yet the rod held up perfectly. Now, if I don't slip and bust my butt here, maybe we get lucky and catch a trout right here. I'd love to catch a trout today. Alright, I'm standing in this fast water right here. It's close to the top of my boots. Let's see what we can get right here. Well guys, I'm putting this nymph right in here, and I'm not even getting anything running at it at all. I would love to see at least something run at it, even if I don't catch it. Put it right in between the rocks there, and it sinks right to the bottom. I don't see anything going after it at all. Well, the first fish I caught on this river bend, Aventik rod, was a carp. Good size one. Not my preferred fish, but it was kind of fun. Alright guys, we're going to leave this right here. Nothing's even chasing this nymph. I'm thinking this water's probably fished out, or they're just not biting. Thanks for coming along with us, and this is Rick with Two Brothers Outdoors, fishing with the Aventik 7'3", 2 to 3 weight fishing rod, fly rod. Till the next one guys, we'll catch you later.